Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Additive Focus Friday Tips where I show a feature within NetFab where you can paint or color an STL file. I have a model airplane here. I have it selected so it's defaulted at orange, but when you unselect you see that this is a model that we need to color. You can also see if you bring in a model that's already been colored by going to your parts list that you brought the part in and clicking with your left mouse button on the soccer ball icon here, and it'll show you if you have parts that are colored or textured. It also opens up your color selection here where you have all the basic colors to pick through, and also you can put the RGB number in here to get a color that maybe you're matching up a Pantone color with. You'll have the access to that to change that. But let's get out of here and show you how we can go about marking this part and changing some colors. Within the modify ribbon, if you go to your texture color here, or double clicking on the soccer ball as I mentioned in the beginning, it brings up the color that you can change, and then you have different ways of marking it. You can mark on triangles. I have the triangulation turned off, but if you use Control G on your keyboard, you can toggle it on or off depending on how you want to go about marking it. You can mark triangles. I'm going to go into our colors here to pick. And we can just mark some triangles, blue for example. You can hold down your left mouse button and mark a bunch. That could take a little while, or you could use a paintbrush which puts a green circle here. Using your control and middle mouse button you can make this bigger or smaller and quickly mark areas. I find just zooming in, moving the circle here, the green circle smaller, you can easily just go and mark areas, and sometimes turning off the actual tessellization of the STL file, just a little easier to mark. Another one I find that's really quick to use here, if I just go and remove all the texture here, we can go to paint the whole shell. So if I have a color, maybe I want to start off with a color that's most of the model and then go in and edit my individual colors. I can do that. I pick this color here for example, and I can use this paint on the shells here, and it'll take your shells of your particular part and color them all up here. A quick way to start off if that's the most dominant color of the model. And going back to our color scheme here and showing how we can change colors. For example, if I want to mark a tire, for example, I could just click on the black here, pick whichever tool I want, and you can easily just mark the tire, for example, going around here. You can put in a custom color. If I go in here and I want a purple color, for example, I can go on the RGB. Maybe I have a Pantone for that particular color, and we can just put in our numbers for that. Now we can add this to our custom colors here, and we can mark different areas here, that particular color. That's a quick lowdown of how you go about marking. We can also, if you bring in a part that already has a color and you don't know what the RGB, for example, is, you can use this eyedropper icon. Now, I've already colored a model quickly here. I've hit it here. I've already marked this. But just to show you the eyedropper here, let's say, for example, you painted a part and you got a little overzealous here and you mark some areas too much, you can go in here to the modify again, go to textures and colors here, and we can use the eyedrop icon, for example, where we want to make this the yellow. We just select that, go here, and then we can mark triangles, or just slide it over there and fix that little area up using the eyedropper. So it's a nice way if you have a custom color and you want to be able to mark that area. But you can see this would be a lot better visual model than the gray part that we had when we first started. And that's a quick way, quick tips on how to mark and color parts. You may want to mark it for manufacturing, for example, the models, or maybe you're going to send this out to get a 3D printed color model, or you have a color printer in-house, which would be great. But basically, that's just a quick tip of the week. And also, I wanted to show when you can export it out to the certain color formats by selecting the part, going to File, Export, and you have 3MF, for example, or the OBJ or VRML, or some color models that keep that information. So thanks again for being on today's Additive Focus Friday Tips. Thank you.